The Nexus 5X is supposed to represent Google's vision of the ideal balance of power, style and cost, leaving all the indulgences to its premium cousin, the Nexus 6P. To that end, the phone has a Qualcomm Snaprdagon 808 processor with 6 cores running at 1.8 GHz and integrated Adreno 418 graphics. There's 2 GB of RAM, which might seem low these days, but that's because it has become a gimmick to stuff 3 GB or 4 GB into even low-cost phones. You can choose between 16 GB and 32 GB of storage at the time of purchase, but it isn't expandable. You plug in a USB-OTG device Type-C, of course, but Google is probably hoping you'll use its cloud services instead. The screen measures 5.2 inches across, not comically oversized, but still big. The 1080x 1920 pixel resolution gives us an effective density of 423p, and sure enough, everything looks crisp and clean. There's a 2700 mAh battery, Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth 4.2, GPS with GLONASS, NFC, and Category 6 LTE, which will work on all bands needed by Indian carriers. You get a 12.3 megapixel rear camera with a twin LED flash and laser-assisted autofocus. The camera is identical to the one in the Nexus 6P, but this phone's processor will only allow 120 fps slow-mo recording, while the latter can do 240 fps. The Nexus 5X's primary camera also supports 4K video recording at 30 fps. In what might be a disappointment to many, the Nexus 5X does not support wireless charging. Google has stated that the feature would have added to the phone's bulk and cost, though many long-time Nexus users hoping for an upgrade have expressed that they wouldn't have minded the trade-off. Google says wireless charging shouldn't be missed because USB Type-C and its own fast charge feature are more convenient, which doesn't quite make sense. A reversible connector isn't better than no connector at all. Speaking of which, the Type-C connector needs to be clicked firmly into place, and also takes a little more effort to disengage than standard micro USB. The charger that ships with the phone is also unusually bulky, and has a non-standard spec of 3F5V. Interestingly, this is not Qualcomm's standard quick charge implementation. The phone is always listening for the OK Google voice command, and it worked well for us even in our noisy office. We're also happy that Google has finally sorted out its messy app permission system, though few of the ones we tried on the Nexus 5X had been updated to take advantage of it. The Nexus 5X has what Google calls ambient display, which is a way to see notifications on screen without using much power. The phone is supposed to detect when you lift it, and turn the screen on in a monochrome mode. In practice, this didn't work well. It took a sharp jerk for the ambient display to kick in, and we found it easier just to reach for the power button instead. All of Google's recent Nexus phones have been widely loved, and the new Nexus 5X is especially important to a lot of people who were disappointed that last year's model was not only much bigger but also much more expensive than the ones that had come before. Those looking to upgrade from a Nexus 4 or 5 should be quite happy with this new model. By launching the Nexus 5X and Nexus 6P together, Google has for the first time fragmented its vision of the ideal Android phone. The Nexus 5X is clearly meant to be the more economical of the two, and so those who want premium build quality and lots of storage will have to deal with a much bigger and more expensive phone. The pure Android experience is intact, and with Marshmallow, it's more polished than ever before. Google has managed to fix one long-running Nexus complaint, which is poor camera quality, but on the other hand there is still no micro SD support. You will also have to deal with being a USB Type-C early adopter, and too bad, if you'd gotten used to wireless charging. The Nexus 5X is a great phone, but priced at Rs. $31,900 for 16 GB or Rs. $35,900 for 32 GB, it might seem a bit too expensive. The reality of the Android market today is that a lot of very capable models with similar features and specifications cost much less. Even if you're comfortable at this price level, there are other options, such as the Samsung Galaxy S6 review pictures, which is a superb buy at its current price of Rs 36,000 and that's for a 32GB model with an all-metal body, QHD screen, and flagship class camera.